Hello there, good morning wherever you are. This is the WP Builds newsletter number 21, entitled Gutenberg Madness, Disable It, Theme It, and finally send Android messages from your PC. This newsletter covers the week commencing the 9th of July 2018. Just a couple of things before we get stuck into it. Firstly, go to wpbuilds.com/deals to find a host of plugin deals, lots of coupon codes for Toolset, Block Party, Malcare, Blog Vault, and a couple of others as well. The other thing to say is please go over to wpbuilds.com/subscribe and join our newsletter and so on and so forth. But without further ado, I'm going to keep it quick this week because frankly there was not a lot going on in the WordPress space, so it's a fairly quick one. So here we go. The first article is to say that, well, we all know that Gutenberg is coming around the corner very soon, and a couple of people are not happy about that, and those people are called Greg Shop and Pieter Boss, Pieter, and they've decided to launch a new classic editor add-on plugin disabler. Basically, with WordPress coming, the new version 4.9.8 coming out fairly soon, it's going to have a try Gutenberg button. These two guys are not happy about that, and they're going to insist upon the classic editor being used forevermore. And what they're basically saying is, you install our plugin, the classic editor add-on, and make sure that the classic editor remains installed, and you won't get any nags, warnings, notifications whatsoever about the impending Gutenberg. Now, depending on what your stance is, this might be a good idea, and they're suggesting that if you manage a whole bunch of sites with something like main WP or manage WP, Jetpack, something like that, you might want to go and install both of these plugins, the classic editor and the classic editor add-on, so that all of your site users don't get nagged about something that frankly they probably won't understand. So quite an interesting case. This, I should say, is on the WP Tavern website, but as always, in the blog post itself and in the newsletter, we will link to all these articles. This one is also Gutenberg related. I can't really explain it, just to say that I'm quite a fan of the Talk Toons. They release a comic periodically, and this one is all about Gutenberg, and it's about the sort of exasperated way that this exact problem is going to be handled in 4.9.8. Install now. 4.9.9, please install now. 4.9.9.1, no, really, install it. Version 5.0, buy the dev some donuts. Go and check it out. You have to see it rather than hear me droning on about it. More Gutenberg news. This one is from, again, it's from WP Tavern, but it reaches out to the Array Themes guys. They are the proud owners now of a Gutenberg ready theme. Now, you would find this on the wp.org repo. It's got about 200 installs so far and 2 5-star reviews. Not so many yet, but that's understandable. And essentially, they've come out with an entire theme which supports full-screen images, videos, galleries, showcasing the new editor's wide alignment styles for content. And it also integrates with their Atomic Blocks functionality, which has been out now. Blocks that you can put in using Gutenberg. And there's a bunch of customizer options for updating logos and font styles and body settings and so on and so forth. So maybe if you're into Gutenberg and you want to play with a theme which is created specifically for that, this might be for you. I should also point out that the guys at Array Themes, because they're so heavily into Gutenberg, they've actually come up with a website called Gutenberg News, and it's gutenberg.news, and it's a website devoted entirely and singularly to the news surrounding Gutenberg. So yeah, if that's your thing and you want to keep abreast of all things Gutenberg, this might be one for you to go and look at. Okay, the next one is all about Beaver Builder. Now, David Wormsley, as you know, is a big fan of Beaver Builder, and he's the guy that does the podcast with me on a Thursday. Well, Beaver Builder have had a bit of a summer update. The headline features are that there's powerful conditional logic coming to Beaver Builder. It's hard to kind of explain what conditional logic is, but it's like if this, then that kind of logic. Display this thing on a page if these conditions are met. And Dave Wormsley has actually put together a video to explain how this works, and it's actually linked in the Beaver Builder blog post. Also, some notable updates to the Beaver Builder theme. You can now style buttons globally from the customizer. You've got the ability to have dedicated H1 styles, new responsive menu animations. You've got the option to use Bootstrap 4 if you prefer that over Bootstrap 3. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And actually, David is linked a second time. He gets 2 videos on the Beaver Builder blog post this month. So anyway, if you're into Beaver Builder, it might be worth going and looking at that, because there's a lot going on and a lot has been updated, which is nice to see. A couple of months ago, we had an article which caused a lot of interest at the time, and not all of it positive, but it was about the fact that a guy called Fred Meyer had decided that we ought to have a WordPress code of honor which people could sign up to. I know that some luminaries in the WordPress space, for example, Troy Dean, thought that this wasn't such a great idea. But anyway, he's actually created the thing now, and you can actually go and sign up for it if you agree to this code of honor. You probably want to go and read what you're signing up for, because if you're going to put your name to it, there's quite a lot of stuff that you're going to honor and decide that you're going to do in the future. But if you're going to meet a load of coding standards and you agree to do all of the right things at the right time, then this might be worth looking at. Okay, the next one is all about the page builder framework. They've got WooCommerce integration, which is great. They are now having this in their freely available repo theme, which is quite nice. It's not going to be added as a premium add-on. And David, the plugins creator, is sort of saying, this makes our theme a pretty good theme in terms of its free offering. And they've also got some stuff coming in the Page Builder 1.8 framework, which is new custom content widths. You've got off canvas overlay, so menus sliding in and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, really nice to see WooCommerce features being added by David into that theme. Very nice indeed. The last piece of WordPress news this week comes from the Draft podcast, which is it's the Post Status podcast, but it's called the Draft podcast. And this week, the 2 Brians, I've forgotten the second Brian Richards, I think it is. Yeah, there's Brian Kronsgaard and there's Brian Richards. They talk about the fact that we're all so busy running our agencies that we rarely get time to look at our own websites. And I know for 100% that is true of me. I never take a look at my website and update it. And this is it's a nice podcast because they discuss that entire problem. And really, it's something that I think if we're going to claim that we're WordPress people, we should be looking at it all the time. But it's been a very long time since I looked at mine. Okay, that's the WordPress news done. The last thing is non-WordPress, but I like it anyway. Just one this week, and it's on the Lifehacker website. And it's to say that Android finally catching up with iOS. You can now, if you download the Android Messages app, which is you just go into the Play Store and search for Android Messages, and it's the one made by Google. If you then click on a menu item in that app and you scan a QR code by going to a URL on your computer, now the messages on your phone are synced into quite a nice UI so that you can send SMS and so on seamlessly from your desktop computer. It's a feature which I've been using for years with loads of third-party apps, some of which have cost me quite a little bit of money over the years, and now I'm glad to see that Android have got this in. So if you're an Android user and you would like that functionality, well, you now have it. Fabulous. Thank you so much for listening to the WP Builds newsletter once more. I hope you have a lovely, lovely, lovely week.